guys, so I am back and I'm here to do a quick swatch and review video for you guys for the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, the original kit, as well as the contour refills that I have in my collection. And this video has been so highly requested, and I think it's a great video too to showcase the colors so you can see the colors swatched on a similar skin tone to yours, or even a skin tone that you're familiar with, so you can kind of gauge how it will look on your own skin tone. And we can go into the pros, the cons, the hits, the misses of these contour colors. So let's just jump right into it. So by now you guys are probably very familiar with the contour kit from Anastasia, particularly the original kit, which came out first and took the market by storm. And it was one of the first, not the first, but one of the first contour kits on the market that were marketed towards more consumers rather than pro makeup artists. It was marketed to regular makeup consumers that just wanted to, you know, jazz up their makeup, do a little bit more now that they're seeing different tutorials. They want the Kardashian look. So it was marketed towards those consumers that are interested in doing more highlighting and contouring. Now there's a debate on whether or not just a regular makeup user really needs a contour kit. And I don't necessarily think they do. A contour duo will do for you. You really don't need multiple shades to create a contoured look or a contoured effect on your face. Those of us that are more novices to makeup and we love makeup, we may not be pros, but we love makeup and we love changing up our look and using different colors. These kits may come in handy because there are a variety of colors to choose from, and you can mix and do more extreme looks versus a more subtle look. So I do think these palettes are handy for those of us who want to change up our look. But if you're more of just the average makeup user that doesn't really go into all the contouring and highlighting tricks, then these may not be something that you want to invest in. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kits retail for $40 for 6 shades. There are 3 highlight shades and 3 contour shades. Price wise and size wise, I think this palette really comes in at a great place. It's $40, which is a great competitive price compared to other contour kits on the market, and even contour duos and contour quads. It's still cheaper than the Cover FX contour kit, which has 4 colors and is $48. It's cheaper than the Smashbox Trio contour kit, which is $45 with 3 shades. The Too Faced Cocoa contour kit is $40 too, but it only has 4 shades. So the Makeup Forever, the NARS contour duos, these are duos now, and they're still in the $40 price range, which is crazy to me. So you're getting 6 shades for $40, which I think is a great bargain. And with where Anastasia lies on the competitive market, it's not high end, it's not low end, it's kind of middle of the road, like lower middle of the road, and I think it has a great price point. And you're getting 6 shades versus 2 or 3 or 4, so you're definitely getting more bang for your buck. And you're getting more product as well, so you can kind of switch up your look. And I'm holding up a palette here because this is the type of palette that it comes in. It's just a black hard cardboard packaging with a magnetized flip top. So there's no mirror, it's pretty basic, it's pretty run-of-the-mill. This is the eyeshadow palette, so the cutouts are gonna look different, but there are 3 shades at the top and 3 at the bottom in the contour kit. But it's the same packaging, it's just very basic. It's functional for maybe a pro makeup artist, but it's not really a pretty packaging for regular consumers. So if you're expecting pretty, that's not what you're gonna get here. What I did was I got a Z palette and put all my shades in the palette. And the Z palettes you buy separately, and they do have a transparent lid so I can see the colors in here. So each of the shades, and you can buy them in singles, come in these pans, and they contain 0.11 ounce of product, which is the same size as a large eyeshadow on the market. This is the MAC Pro Longwear eyeshadow. So it's the same amount of product in these contour colors. They're a little bit bigger than the Makeup Forever eyeshadows that are only 0.07 ounces, but it's the same size pan, but they contain more products in the contour shades. Again, you get 6 shades in each kit. 3 of them are highlight and color correcting shades, and then the other 3 would be contour or shading colors. And there are 3 kits available on the market. There's a light to medium, a medium to tan, and a tan to deep palette. Now, the light to medium and the medium to tan palettes are available at Ulta and Sephora. You can get them in store or online at Ulta.com or Sephora.com. And all 3 palettes are available on the Anastasia website, so you can get the tan to deep palette on the Anastasia website. On the Anastasia website, you also have the option of building your own contour kit and customizing your own shades. So that's what I did. I went ahead and picked 6 shades for $40 and built my own palette, and then when I got them, I just put them in my Z palette. But you can do that and customize your own kit. Maybe you want more contour shades, maybe you want an all highlight palette. You know, whatever you want to do, you can customize it for the same exact price, which I think is a great option. There are 29 shades to choose from, so you can go ahead and go crazy and build your own palette. Build a palette of contour shades, build a palette of highlight shades, just to suit your own needs and what you would want from the kit, which I think is a great option, because a lot of the contour and highlight kits that are out on the market these days, they try to cover a range of skin tones, and they will not touch every skin tone, and they're going to be shades in the palette that you may not be able to use. Like the Kat Von D contour kit, for me, the highlight shades were useless for me because they were too light. I like the contour shades, but I couldn't use the highlight shades. So I think it's great to be able to build your own palette and choose your own colors that are going to be more useful for you. You can customize it to your own preferences. Maybe you like dark contours, maybe you like really light highlights, but you can customize it to your preferences and your actual skin tone. So we're going to go ahead now and jump into the swatches, because I know that's what you guys are waiting for, and I'm going to do the original contour kit separate from the shades that I picked up as singles. So you're going to go through the original, then I'm going to go through the other shades, and I'm just going to walk you through the shade descriptions as well. So as usual for this type of product, I will swatch it over a light layer of foundation on my skin, just because for any kind of face product I would apply it over a foundation, a tinted moisturizer, or even just a regular moisturizer, which will give it a little bit of a base to stick to. So I'm going to start out with the highlight shades, and the first shade is Vanilla, which is just a light, slightly peachy ivory shade. And this one has a matte finish. It really kind of blends into foundation, which is good because it's such a light shade that when you want to highlight your skin and you're deeper, the highlight shade kind of has to blend in more. And even though it's a light shade, as you can see, it kind of blends into my skin. It's not overly pigmented where it's going to give me a very ashy look. Then we have more of a yellow beige color. This is Banana, and this one has a little bit more pigmentation to it, so this one will definitely show up on my skin. This one is a little bit too light, a little bit too ashy. You definitely need to use a light coverage of this color, but again, they have light pigmentation, so they don't really show up on the skin as intensely as that unless you truly pack it on. Then we have the shade Sand, which is a shimmer shade, and this one packs a lot of pigmentation. So you want to go very light-handed with this one if you're going to use it, but it's one of those shimmery highlight shades. It's a very pretty color. It is more of a champagne shimmer, and it would work great as a highlight on the tops of the cheekbones, but not so much under the eye. Now moving on to the contour shades. First up I have Java, which is a medium toned brown. This one has a warm undertone. As you can see, it shows up warm on my skin, but then as you blend it, you see a little bit of a gray undertone coming out. This one would be better for warming up the skin rather than creating a shade or a contour, because it does have that warm undertone. Next we have the shade Fawn, which has more of a gray undertone. It's better suited for a contour. And as you can see, it's definitely gray on my skin tone, and if I use this lightly, it works well as a contour shade. And then last up we have the shade Havana, which is definitely a warm tone brown shade. This guy would definitely be used for bronzing and not so much contouring, but what you can do is mix this shade with Fawn to get a more gray tone contour shade, and then warm up Fawn a little bit so it's not as harsh and ashen on the skin. So there are the 6 shades in the original contour kit. Now I'm going to go ahead and swatch some of the single shades that I picked up from the Anastasia Contour Roundup. The first up is Peaches and Cream, which is a matte light peach shade. And I would actually use this as a highlight shade. It has that nice peach undertone, so it would make a great highlight even right under my eyes, since it would brighten with that orange undertone. This is the shade Golden Peach, which is still a peach color, but it's a little bit lighter. It's more on the peach beige side, and this one has a hint of yellow as well. As you apply it, you see the hint of yellow come out. And that one again is a great highlight shade on medium deep skin tone. This color here is Mellow Yellow, which is a bright, intense, almost sunshine yellow shade. But this one I wouldn't use on its own. I'd use it as a corrector shade or even a mix-in shade for other shades just to create a different color. But that one is also a nice bright color. It's gonna add brightness to the skin. Maybe your skin is looking a little bit too sallow and you want to brighten it up a little bit. That is a good color, but again, it's not a color for a beginner, it's more of a professional color. I'm gonna leave a little space for Banana so you can see it next to Mellow Yellow, but this shade here is Cream Soda. This one is a warm tone brown. It has more depth to it, but it can still be used as a color to warm up the skin. It can be used to mix with other colors, and it can also be used as a highlight or a brightening shade on deeper skin tone. This one I would use more to warm up my skin as a light bronzer. And then last up in my lighter shades, I have Champagne, which is a light golden champagne shade. This one is definitely a highlight shade. You're gonna need to be light-handed with this because it can come off a little bit too intense on deeper skin. This one would go better with deeper skin tone than the sand shade in the original kit would. And you can use this to mix with the matte shades to create a light shimmery effect. You don't have to use this on its own. I wouldn't recommend you use it on its own unless you use a very light hand, but you can mix it, create beautiful highlight shades. As I said, I left a little space so I could swatch Banana next to Mellow Yellow. As you can see, Banana is not even close to yellow next to Mellow Yellow. Mellow Yellow is a true sunshine bright yellow. And I'll also swatch Sand next to Champagne so you can see the difference. Sand is more of a peachy champagne, and Champagne is definitely a yellow champagne shade. So here go those highlight shades or lighter shades on my skin tone. Now we're moving on to some of the deeper shades, and this first one is Nutmeg, which is included in the medium dark contour kit that is available, the pre-made kits. This one is a warm toned bronzy shade. I definitely think this is a bronze shade. It's not quite a contour shade. It's too warm to be a true contour. Next up we have Earth, which is a deeper, richer brown shade. And this one, as you apply it and it darkens up on your skin, you'll see that it has a slightly gray undertone, which makes it ideal for contour shade. Even though it still has a lot of warmth to it, as you can see, it still has that depth that you can get away with using this as a contour shade. This next shade is Clay, which is a reddish brown shade, and it's a deep color. Again, as you apply it, it will deepen up and you'll see that it has a slight gray undertone. And I wouldn't use this necessarily as a contour, but it's great to add depth to the skin and a little bit of warmth along like the hairline or the temple area. Then we have Copper Brown, which is another warm toned brown. This one is not as red based as the last one that we swatched. And that one, again, I would use as more of a warm color, one to darken up the hairline, not necessarily as a contour shade. Now we have the shade Cinnamon, which is another medium toned brown shade. This one is more of an orange based color. This one I would definitely use as a bronzer because it's truly warm. It's a really pretty color, really nice bronzing shade. And then last up we have Espresso, which is also a part of the medium tan pre-made contour kit. And that one is a rich deep color. That one would be a great contour shade actually, because it has that rich depth to it. And if you look closely, you'll see a touch of neutral grayish undertone. So that one would actually make a nice contour shade. So again, there go the 6 deeper contour colors that I picked up. So now I'll swatch the last 6 shades that I have in my collection. First up we have the shade 10K, which is a shimmery golden beige color. It's not a high frost and it's very subtle on my skin tone, so it will make a good highlight color for medium deep skin tones. Next we have the shade Macchiato, which is a peachy medium tone brown shade. This one would actually still make a nice highlight color just to give a little bit of dimension to my skin, but it almost matches my skin tone a little bit too well to work as a contour shade. Here we have the shade Camel, which is more of a caramel brown shade. Again, it's pretty close to my skin tone, so I'll probably have to use this as a highlight or as a very subtle contour where it just deepens up just the very edges of my skin, like the perimeter of my skin. Here we have one of the newer shades. This is Ash Brown, which is a medium tone brown with a slight gray or a slight taupey undertone. This one is a true contour shade because of that grayish undertone. It's very smooth. It would work really well as a contour shade on medium deep skin tone, as you can see. And then second in the newer shades is the shade Mink, which is also a good contour shade because it has a gray undertone. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit warmer than Ash Brown, but they look very similar on my skin tone. Ash Brown's a little deeper, so if you're deeper, go for Ash Brown. If you're a little lighter, go for Mink. And then last up we have the shade Carob, which is the darkest shade I got. This is more of a deep red toned brown. As you can see, it's very deep on my skin. I would have to be very light-handed to use that as a contour shade. But on darker skin tone with red undertones, that would work well to add dimension to the skin. So here go those 6 colors swatched. And as you can see, Carob is really a rich espresso brown with a red undertone. These 2 new shades, the Ash Brown and the Mink, are gray undertone, really pure contour shades, and the other 3 shades could work well as highlight shades for my skin tone. This golden shade is the only shimmery one I have, and I think it's one of the only shimmery ones in the lineup. There may be another one, or I may be incorrect and it's only one. So those are the final shades in my collection. So now that you've seen the swatches, we can go into the product performance, the application, how these work, and what I think about them overall. So the first thing that most people are on the fence about or kind of critique about these products are that they're very warm shades. So they run on the more reddish brown or orangey brown shades. They're definitely warmer shades. So they're gonna give you a more bronzy effect rather than a true contoured effect. But there are a couple more gray toned ashy shades in the collection, and you know, I think they're more in the works too. I may be wrong, but I think they're more in the works. Fawn, I think, is a great ashy tone. It isn't too warm. It does come off neutral. Ash Brown is one of their newer shades. This is more gray toned again, and it works great on my skin tone, believe it or not. And Mink, which is one of the more gray toned shades as well. Again, these new shades, the Ash Brown and the Mink, work great as contour shades and show up on my skin tone. And Java, I think, is also a nice neutrally tone for contouring. As far as the pigmentation of these shades, I find them to be very pigmented but not overly saturated, and they're very blendable and smooth shades. Even the matte shades that are matte, they're not chalky at all, so they don't give this flat finish on your look. They actually look like a natural skin type matte finish, which is perfect because that's what you want from these colors since you are using them on your skin to add dimension. And they blend out easily, so there won't be any harsh lines. If you use a nice blend-in brush, they blend out smoothly, easy, don't leave any streaks behind, so they're perfect for using to create shading and highlighting on the skin. A lot of lighter skin tones really seem to enjoy the original palette and they love the banana shades, but there are complaints that the highlight shades don't go to very pale shades, like very light shades, so they don't work out as true highlight shades on paler skin. So that's something to be mindful of. You might not get a true highlight shade if you're going for intense highlight on paler skin. On darker skin, I think we're the ones that are benefiting, again, just like their cream contour palettes. we have a great shade range for us. We can pick and choose. There are deep, dark colors that are going to suit our skin tone. There are great highlight shades. There's skin tone shades that you can use as highlights, so they're very natural looking on us. And warm shades actually work out pretty well on our skin tone. So they're mostly matte shades, but some of the highlight shades are shimmery. And for my recommendation, I definitely think check out the Anastasia Beverly Hills website. Pick, if you're darker skin, go with the medium tan. If you're deeper skin, go for the tan to deep. I think that the selection, the 6 shades that are selected for those palettes actually work out pretty well for those skin tones. But if you want to go ahead and build your own palette, I'll recommend a few shades that I think are great. Again, for my skin tone, a couple of shades, maybe a shade or two deeper, a shade or two lighter. I think Mint, Ash Brown, and which one is this? Fawn were great for true neutral undertones, for true contours. But I also love the shade Copper Brown, which is a warmer tone. Again, for darker skin, you can use these to warm up your skin to create dimension because we have that warmer tan look to our skin. I also love the shade Earth. I think Earth is a great color as well for contouring. It's more of a yellowy tone than Copper Brown. If you can see, it's yellowy brown. And then if you want to go for a more intense shade, Carob is a good color as well. Carob is a deeper, more rich espresso brown. And I also think Espresso is a great shade to get as well. And I'll show you that next to Carob. This is Espresso, this is Carob. So the darker shade is Carob. Espresso is kind of like that mid-tone, deeper shade. For highlight colors, I would go for more skin tone colors, honestly. More peachy colors too if you're using them under your eyes. Peaches and Cream is a good one to use under your eyes to brighten up, because that peachy undertone will brighten up under your eyes. And I also like the shade Golden Peach, which is a more golden shade than Peaches and Cream. Come on now. So this one is Golden Peach and this one is Peaches and Cream. So you see, this one is more golden. So if you're going for a more brightening effect, those work really well. And for a shimmery shade, I do think 10K is a nice shade. It's more of a golden brown shade, and it works great for a highlight on darker skin. And even this other shade here, Champagne, you have to be more careful with it because it is a shimmery light shade, but I think that one is a great highlight shade as well. And I'll just mention the shades that are in the contour kits. The light to medium palette has Sand, Vanilla, Banana, Java, Fawn, and Havana. The medium to tan palette has 10K, Peaches and Cream, Macchiato, Nutmeg, Havana, and Espresso. So I think that is a great mix of colors. Actually, I really like all that selection. And then tan to deep has Cinnamon, Espresso, Nutmeg, Latte, L'Orange, and Earth. And again, for deeper skin tone, deeper rich skin tones, I think that is a great selection as well. So let me know what you guys think. I think the palette selection is great, especially the medium to tan and tan to deep for deeper skin tones. And you have the option of creating your own palette and mixing and matching your own shades, which I think is a great option. And it's still $40. And $40 I think is a great price point as well. For where it stands in the market competitively, I think it's a great option. So let me know what you guys think. I'll leave a link below to my blog post with swatches so you can see the actual swatches and pictures, because sometimes that's helpful as well as an overall view review of the product. And yeah, until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye.